You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Welcome everyone to this week's Learn English Through Football podcast, the podcast for learners of English who love the beautiful game of football. My name is Damon and I'm based in Tokyo, Japan. At the moment, the skies are grey and there's a bit of rain, but that's all good for my plants on the balcony. How about where you are? And how about in London, where the other member of the Learn English Through Football team, Damien, is based? Damien, how are you doing?
Hi, Damon, and hello to all our listeners. I hope you are all doing well. Well, the weather here in London is wet and windy, but that's okay, as we were still able to play football this morning. I can't remember the result, though. How is your football team doing? How did they get on this week? My favourite team, Tottenham, they played in the Carabao Cup against the holders, Newcastle, and they were beaten 2-0. I think Damon's team, Liverpool, also went out of that competition. Maybe because we're both looking at bigger ones. Now, listener, remember that you can access all our posts at our new website address, which is now learnenglishthroughfootball.com. If you like what we do here, we'd love it if you could share it with your friends and give us likes or ratings on your favourite podcast platform.
Hi, my name's Izzy. I'm a fan of Dulwich Hamlets FC and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
Thank you for that message, which was from a fan of Dulwich Hamlet and which mentioned our old name, languagecaster.com. Why don't you send in a stinger, a message like that, saying your name, which team you support, and you are listening to Learn English Through Football.com in English or your language, so we can update our messages. It would be great to hear from you. Just record an audio and send it to contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com. We will have more stingers or messages throughout the show in different languages. Try and guess what they are. We'll let you know what they are at the end of the show.
那个谢我听啊，是通过做就我赢你。
Right, on today's show, we are going to look at the phrase to go clear or to go clear at the top. We will also hear from Damon in our predictions section when he will be looking at the Tottenham versus Chelsea game from the Premier League. I will then be explaining a football cliché based on that game.
Du lytter til languagecaster.com.
Okay, I heard on the radio this afternoon that Arsenal went 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League table after their 2-0 win at Burnley. To be 7 points clear means that there is now a gap of 7 points between them and the team in second place. The idea around this phrase is to suggest that the team has gone clear is in a really strong position. They are leading the table, or they are top, or they are ahead of other teams. Of course, we can use numbers to describe how far clear the team is or how much of a lead they have. So, for example, Arsenal have gone 7 points clear in England, while in Scotland, Hearts are now 9 points clear of Celtic in second place. That's a bit of a surprise. Of course, it's not only related to the top of the table, as we can say that a team has gone 3 points clear of the relegation places, for example. Or maybe we can say that after a win, the team has now gone 3 or 4 or whatever the number is, points clear of the team in next position, to go 7 points clear, for example.
Tá tú ag éisteacht le languagecaster.com.
Right, let's turn now to predictions, and here's Damon again with his predictions for the Tottenham versus Chelsea match.
Cheers, Damien. How are you feeling about this one? It's not the biggest London derby, but I wonder if it is the second biggest for Tottenham fans. I expect this to be a cracking game for the neutral, and there should be quite a bit of needle or aggression in the game too. These two sides often produce intense games with strong challenges and lots of passion. Remember the Battle of the Bridge in 2016? 13 yellow cards and 9 for Spurs. I don't think there will be that many cautions this time, but I do expect goals. I'm not going for the same scoreline as the Battle of the Bridge, which was 2-2. I'm going to go 3-2 to Tottenham, simply because their defence seems a bit more secure than Chelsea's, while both can score goals. Each side have 17 goals so far, so an exciting game with Tottenham coming out winners and maybe moving up the table to second place.
Thanks, Damon. I really don't like this game, as Spurs have a terrible record. Chelsea always seem to get something from the match and leave us Spurs fans really disappointed. We lost this one 1-0, but really we were lucky that we did not concede more goals. Chelsea could have scored 2 or 3 more. There is a football cliche to describe a really poor performance by a team. They were lucky to get 0. Of course, 0 means that a team have not scored a goal. 0-0 is a scoreless draw, for example. But if a team have been so bad and not really created any clear-cut chances or any chances at all, then we might hear fans use this phrase. They were lucky to get 0. Oh well, maybe next time.
Je luistert naar languagecaster.com.
Do you want to practice using prediction phrases? Share your thoughts on what might happen in the games you'll be watching this weekend. Head over to our site and leave a comment under this post or join the discussion in our forum. You can even record a voice note with your predictions if you like.
Bạn đang nghe languagecaster.com.
And before we go, remember, we have a massive glossary of football terms with hundreds of expressions, phrases and cliches about the beautiful game of football. And if you want to send in any new words that you have heard, again, drop us a line at contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com.
Hola a todos, estáis escuchando languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, and that message was in Spanish. Did you guess the other languages you heard on today's podcast? First, we had Chinese, then Danish and Dutch, before hearing from some Vietnamese speakers. As Damon said, send in a message in your language and we'll add it to the show. So on the show today, we looked at the phrase to go clear at the top, and also the cliche, they were lucky to get 0. How would you say these phrases in another language that you know? Let us know by dropping us a line at contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com. Bye bye, enjoy all the football.